Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Andy, I am the painting fireman. Today we are just gonna go and paint a nice big old mountain. I just want to show you what I did up here first. On the canvas we have black acrylic paint, and you can make kind of a starting idea of what you're gonna do. I think we're gonna have a big cliff here, maybe some water on the bottom and a big old gigantic mountain in the middle. Doing this, it gives you an idea. It really helps you along through your painting. On the bottom, I put liquid clear as well as a little bit of black and Prussian blue. On the top is just regular canvas the way it comes from the store. I just put some liquid white on there, and that absolutely helps the colors mix properly. You can see when I put the blue color on, it'll be dark at the top and it'll fade into a really nice horizon on the bottom where it looks cloudy or it looks a little paler than the top. So that's exactly what the purpose of the liquid white is. You want to put that on your canvas and it'll just make your life simple. I also, you can see I overlapped a little bit. I have some trees here. You can see a little bit on the bottom. Those are just going to help at the end. They're going to stay there for most of the painting. I might go over top of them. It'll show you distance in your painting, so you can there's a little tricks and quirks to painting on oil and using your acrylic black. It'll just make it look like there's lots of stuff in the back when all it really is your acrylic that you put on there. But make sure you cover it all up with your liquid clear and whatever kind of base color you want. So just on the bottom I have that blue and black. So we're going to start up in the sky. I think it's gonna be almost a spring kind of painting. There's not gonna be too much snow, just maybe on the mountains there's gonna be a little bit of snow. But right now I'm just putting some black and some Prussian blue. I want kind of a dark sky. It's gonna be a real quick sky today. We're gonna start up at our corner and we're just gonna make our little X strokes here. So I got a nice deep blue color. And we're just going to go across, just using our X strokes. We're going to go across. We're going to maybe leave a few places here. And as you can see, when it mixes with the liquid white, it is turning a little bit more of a white blue color. And we're just going to mix it all the way down here. Just a quick sky. We're going to blend all that out. We're going to go all the way across here. Big old mountain's going to be here, so we're not too concerned about what's in here. Just going to go across again. And then we're going to take our big brush, our 2-inch brush right here. Maybe we'll take this one. I have a bunch of different brushes that over time I bought. Some are a little bit stiffer, some are still good. Make sure it's nice and clean and dry. And all we're going to do is do our X strokes again with our big brush. And we're just going to blend out that sky. I don't want to blend it too much. I want those little light spots, dark spots. It will just add dimension to your painting if you just leave those in. You can blend it as much as you really want. As soft as you want. The more you blend, the softer your sky gets. I kind of want not quite a stormy sky, but you know, a cloudy day's happening. Make sure you get those tops. I have a bit of a lip on my easel, so you got to make sure you get under there. And we can go across. And that'll just get rid of our brush strokes. You can see just by doing those X strokes, you blend it out as much as you want. Just by doing those X strokes, you can see we naturally formed little clouds just kind of hanging out there. If you see any spots you wanna buff out a little bit or make a little blurry, I see a little spot here. Just take your X strokes, but make sure you go back out again, back and forth. Very gentle, very little pressure. You're just trying to get rid of those brush strokes. We're gonna put some quick little clouds in the sky other than the ones we got there. We'll take our handy dandy fan brush and we're just going to go straight into white. load up your fan brush full, both sides. You can see how it's on both sides. There we go. And we're gonna freestyle this one. It's an interesting technique to make clouds, but it is really, really effective. Make sure you got lots of paint on your fan brush, and all you're gonna do is twist and turn and make little shapes. Don't stay in one place. We're just trying to make it look like there's some clouds in the sky here. Load up some more paint here, both sides, and you're just gonna twist. Keep that brush moving. Keep that brush moving. It's really important not to stop. You can roll it, twist it, whichever way. We're gonna blend all that out, but a lot of that white color will stay, but it'll be really blurry, but it will look like clouds. So we're just gonna put one here. Maybe our big mountain's gonna be in there. Our big mountain's gonna go right into those clouds. So we can kind of go on the side here, just twisting, turning, just wherever that brush wants to go. You're in control of the brush. You can make it go wherever you want, wherever you want. That's about it. We'll take our nice clean 2-inch brush, and we're just going to do our extras. So going to just blend them in there very gently, lightly, nice and gentle. We're going to wisp those clouds up a bit. Remember the last painting we did, our clouds, we had little, if you ever look at clouds, they got those little trails coming off the end of them, and we can make that in our painting just by doing this very lightly up, just gently caressing this canvas, not too much pressure, and then we can go across. You can blend out those clouds if you don't like what it looks like. Maybe there's a little darker spot here. Just gently across. I see a little spot up there that I don't quite like. And if you don't like what it looks like, because we didn't use a lot of paint for our clouds, you can just blend that in, no problem. And those clouds will disappear. They'll look very, very blended into the sky. There's a little piece here that, and I'm just, oh, there's our little hair. That's okay. Pick that out of there, no problem. You don't have to worry too much, because like I said, we're going to put a big old mountain there. And he'll kind of hide any kind of mistakes we made here. We didn't really make any mistakes. We're just nicely blending out our sky. Very gentle. Wisp it up again a little bit. Maybe there's some wispy clouds there. There you go. Just by doing a little freestyle with your fan brush, and just moving it. The important part is keeping that brush moving. Just keep that brush moving, and it'll create fascinating little spots and little clouds in the sky without very much effort. All right, now time for our mountain. We're going to put a little small mountain in the background. I just mixed together some phthalo blue, some black, Prussian blue, a little bit of crimson. It's going to be a grayish purple color. And for the mountain in the back, I want it nice and light. So we're going to go up here. It might look like it's just floating in midair right now, but I just want the indication of a mountain in the background. He's just going to be a nice gray color. Nothing too wild in the back. Our big mountain's going to come right in front of here, but I just want that slight indication that there is a mountain in the background, like a big range of mountains. We're going to be kind of sitting on top of a cliff. There's going to be a big cliff here. So I just want that in the background, just very nicely. We'll take some white, maybe add a little snow on there. We pull our white out, and then we just cut a little bit of paint. I just want that indication of snow in the background, just nicely Very, very subtle. We just want it to kind of show up just in the background. Now, when you look at this mountain from straight ahead, I know we're kind of at an angle the way I'm filming it, but when you look at it straight ahead, you can see just a little bit of detail in there. And don't worry about on this side, we're going to cover that up with a bit of brown. Somebody asked on the comment section, what do I do with my paintings? Well, I like donating my paintings. It makes me feel good. I've donated to STARS Air Ambulance. I've donated to fire departments across Alberta. I recently donated to our local hockey club. I enjoy seeing other people profit from it. They get, or groups and clubs profit from my paintings. It makes me feel good. And I know that some of my paintings went for hundreds of dollars, and it went to a good place. So I like donating it. I do sell some of my paintings. I don't have a website just yet. I'm hoping to get one up soon. Right now I have a Facebook page. It's Art by Andy. If you ever wanted to look at some of the paintings I've done, if you're interested in any of those paintings, you can check out Art by Andy on Facebook. And of course this YouTube channel, you can always ask me on here. But for the most part, I sell a few, I donate a lot to good causes, and yeah, that's what I do with my paintings. All right, time for that big mountain. We're going to put this big mountain. He's going to be, I want to do a humongous mountain. So we're going to use our mountain color that we made. It's just black, phthalo blue, a little bit of crimson, and it's going to be a pretty dark color. So we're going to, oops, grab that yellow by mistake. Just wipe that off, no problem. So we got our dark color here. We're going to get a big roll of paint. We're going to go up on the palette here, or on the canvas. So I think we're going to start right here. He is a massive straight up and down mountain. Big old guy right there. Lots of paint. We're going to scrape away some of that paint. Maybe he comes up here some more. Down. Down. I want him really big old strong mountain right in the back. Big old strong guy here. And your mountains can be anything you want them to be. If you don't want a big rigidy old mountain like I got, you can make a small mountain, whichever you want to do. It is entirely up to you. It's your painting. I said before, when you picked up your paintbrush for the first time, you automatically got your painter's license. There's no instructions on the end of your brush, or on the end of your knife, or on a tube of paint. So you can see how we went in front. We went in front of that mountain that we made. We'll maybe put a couple of ridges in here. Big old strong mountain. Big old strong mountain. I think we'll put some more here. Big old cliff there. You can see how he kind of hangs out on the end. A couple squiggles. And then we'll run him off on the side there. Here. That's a big old mountain that we made. Just like that. Maybe we'll add some more. Continue on here. Big ridges happening. Get some more paint on our knife. Now you could use your knife. You can also use any kind of brush you want. The knife I just like because it presses down hard. You want to press really hard. Get that paint into the canvas. And the canvas will pick up the rest of that paint. We're just going to finish him off here. Maybe straighten him out a little bit. Go. And we can go ahead and scrape some of that paint off. You want to make sure you keep your ridges at the peaks of your mountains. There's a valley in here. Make sure you keep those points, and you can always go back before you put your highlights on. And I see I missed a little spot there, but that's okay. It goes. Nice big old mountain. And all I'm doing is scraping. I am scraping off this paint quite hard. And it'll all blend into the bottom eventually. When we get there, you're going to take your 1-inch brush, and you can take your 1-inch brush right at the corner, and we're just going to blend it all the way down. Where we go with it, big, huge peaks on our mountain. And just blend it down maybe this way here. And blend it. On the bottom of mountains, a lot of times you'll see that fog. And you can see it's mixing with our liquid white on the bottom. And it's just naturally creating that fog. We can add a little fog by, I think we'll do that with our 2-inch brush. Just a little white on our 2-inch brush. But just blend it to the bottom there. Maybe this guy goes this way a little bit. And blend it out. Big old mountain. I didn't think that mountain would be that big, but you know what? That's just the way it happened. No problem. And on this side, we're going to cover it up with our big rock. So this part on this side, this black part here, we're not really worried about putting any detail here. It is going to be big kind of rocks and things like that on this side. So we're not super concerned about that right now. There we go, our big old mountain is made. Time to put some highlights on our big old mountain that we made. All I did was pull out some white, pull it nice and thin, and you're going to cut across, and you get your little roll of paint right on the end. And this is just straight white. Sometimes colors get mixed in. That's okay. No big deal. Take your little roll of paint. We're going to find a peak that we like and just gently, with the knife, gently move her down the mountain. Take another roll of paint. Maybe move this guy over a little bit. And just let it go. Just let it go. The canvas will take whatever she wants. Another little peak here. And straight down. You might want to wipe off your knife every time you do it. You'll pick up a little paint. I want this pretty white little roll of paint. We're going to add our shadows in there afterwards. Because I'm kind of going straight down, maybe there's a little crevasse in there. We're going to put our shadows in after. I left a little bit of space. We can put some shadows. We can put some shadows in after when we do this one here. I got a little bit of green there for some reason. If you got a little color that you don't like in there, I had a little green on my, mixed in my white, you can just scrape it off. You know, you can just take it. If you don't like it, just make it disappear. That's the beauty of this style of painting, oil painting. There's no mistakes really. You can get rid of them. The last painting I did, I put a tree over top of something I didn't like. Trees will help you out. They can hide a multiple of errors, and nobody knows except you what happened there. We'll just add a little more, a little definition to this one here. Maybe on here, we're gonna put our. There's our green again. I don't know where this green's coming from. That doesn't belong in there. Didn't clean my, must not have cleaned my palette off very good last time, but I see a lot of green in there. There we go. Now we're not going to worry too much about here. We'll just put a little bit on that side. Just a little bit. Because, remember, we're going to have our big, we're going to have some trees there. We are going to have a big rock formation there. And all I'm doing is gently letting the canvas take what the canvas wants. So we're going to take our shadow color. We're going to go right in here. Shadow. And just drop it that up a little bit more. Maybe add just a touch more white. I just felt that that was too dark. Like I said, if you don't like something, you can always get rid of it. So let's go up here with our shadow, and we're just gonna pull straight down, just to give that little area there, right in here. And we can always go back with our white, which I'm gonna do. Just add your blue. This guy comes across. And it's the same process, that little roll of paint. Add your paint color, your blue. This side here. And we can go back and put a little white. Keep going with our shadows. Maybe this one comes down some more. Need a little ridge right here. All right, we're just going to finish putting some of our shadows in here. Just on the bottom maybe, a little more white snow. And all we're doing is dragging that knife nicely across there. It'll create magnificent little rocky areas. Maybe a little outpost or out hanging here and downwards. Got some more white on there. Take him. And you can go forever with mountains. Hardest thing is remembering when to stop or how to stop. But I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop right there. That looks like a pretty big old mountain. Now, a lot of times when you look at a mountain, you always see a bit of a mist at the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our big 2-inch brush and we're just gonna tap. Just gonna tap the bottom here. All the way across. And it'll form a bit of a mist. And all we're doing is gently tapping. You kind of want to go the direction of your mountain strokes this way. And we're going to uplift here, and we're just going to very lightly touch the bottom of the mountain. Something goes that way. Oh, about halfway up. Halfway up. It'll just blur out the bottom of that mountain. And I'm barely touching the canvas. And we're just tapping the bottom, making it look like there's mist. I see this side. You want to go the way of the mountain peak. If the one side goes that way, you want to uplift this way. If you got more this way, you're going to uplift this way. So all we're doing, you can hear that I'm barely touching the canvas. Just tapping the bottom. Don't worry about this part. We're going to fill in this with a bunch of trees. Just gently putting that mist in there. And we can blend it out. Going to take our fan brush. We're going to load our fan brush up both sides. And all we're going to do is we're going to take our fan brush, put it straight down, and right around here, we're just going to tap downwards. It's going to make a nice green, gray color. Just tapping downwards. Load up some more paint. Make sure that you vary the size. Some bigger ones in the back. Maybe some that you can see a little better. We'll put just a hint of detail on there. It does take a lot of paint to do this, because we're kind of going over the bottom of our mountain. So, but we just want the indications of some trees in the back. It is still It is still fairly distant, so we don't need a ton of detail. Maybe one or two that are a bit darker than the other ones. And we're just pulling straight down with our fan brush. Straight down. Just using the top of that fan brush. Varying the sizes. You can see maybe a little darker here and there. And all the way across. Pick up some more paint. Maybe here. And we know that we got our big rock coming down this way, so we're not going to go any further that way. I think maybe one of these ones here, you can see the top. Maybe this one here. Just the indication that maybe some of these are a little stronger than the rest of the guys. And we can take our brush and do the same thing we did before. Just tap the bottom and we can lift up. If we lift up, it really gives the indication that there's 1,000 trees in the back. It'll leave those brush strokes in there. And we're just lifting up just so gently. Just lifting up, tapping out the bottom. And let's blend it back in. Just tap the bottom and give those upstrokes. Looks like there's a million trees in the back there. Just gonna fix this guy here. Gonna look funny to me. And with oil paint, you can go over. It doesn't dry right away. You can go over. If you don't like something, just go right back there. Just go right back there and you can fix it up. Maybe he's a little bit taller here. I just wanted to put a couple more taller trees in the back there. Just because you don't want them standing up like a row of toothpicks. They're not toothpicks, they're trees. And you know what? They vary in size. Every tree is unique, just like you are. Everybody's unique. Every tree is unique. Just give it a little more tap. And let's go up with it. And we can blend it up. So we've put our trees down, just our background trees. Like I said, they're not a lot of detail in the back. We're going to start moving forward a little bit. We're going to take our black, a little bit of Prussian blue. Maybe we'll throw our crimson in there. Just a really dark color. A little sap green. We'll mix it all together. We want a big load of paint here because we're going to use that quite a bit for our trees that are going to come forward. I enjoy painting evergreen trees. You can paint whatever kind of trees you like to paint. It's all up to you. I like evergreen trees. There's a lot of trees like that around in my neighborhood here, so those are the ones I like to paint. If you have lots of birch trees, you can paint birch trees, but the mountainous trees, you're really going to look for your evergreen trees, Douglas firs, big old trees like that, hardy trees that live in the mountains. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to start putting some of our trees on our cliff here. So we're just going to start right here just to make a little line. And you're going to tap. And there's one tree living on kind of like the peak of that little cliff that we got going. He needs a little friend, I think, right there. Just give him a little friend. We got some trees kind of hanging off. You know, if you look at the mountains, there's all these trees. Not every tree is straight, right? You see them all curved and they're just hanging on. Just hanging on to that mountain or that cliff on that one side. We'll put a big old guy right here. He's going to come in front of that mountain in the back. They're just kind of hanging out on that cliff there. And maybe at the bottom here, bottom of the cliff. So that rock's going to come down Maybe we will. You can put trees wherever you want. I really don't have the idea of where I'm going to put or how many I'm going to put. But we'll put one right here. Why not? And we just go downwards. Fatter at the bottom. We could put maybe a couple more up here if we decide to do that. Just one's kind of hanging on the end of our cliff. Put another one here. Side him. Let's go on this side here. Load up that paintbrush. Nice and full. Maybe here's one. Here he comes. He's a bit scraggly, that guy, but that's okay. That's okay. He can be scraggly. Maybe a smaller buddy in the back there. All I'm doing is tapping that brush down. We're going to highlight those trees after. We'll highlight those trees after. Maybe a big guy right here. Here he comes. And the farther we go down, the harder we press. And the harder we press, the more of that, the more of our bristles hit. And they make those quite naturally. Put one here. Goes across. Just a little ahead of that guy. And let's put a big old one right there. Big old tree. He goes down into nothing. And maybe a friend, a little bit smaller, but he's kind of hanging on the end of our. He's hanging on the end of our canvas, and dark to the bottom. Dark to the bottom. All right, let's take our brown. We're just gonna put straight brown, and we're gonna put in our cliff here. Now these guys are kind of hanging off the cliff. Let's get up close to that guy. And it's just straight brown. We might put a little black in it. Just because I want it darker. Just because I want it a bit darker. Just mix that brown with our tree color. There we go. Big old cliff. He's just hanging out here. Those trees are kind of hanging on. We need a little ledge for that tree to hang on. Just a nice dark brown color for right now. Just a cliff there. And downwards. You can put all sorts of squiggles in there. Whichever you want. Keeping with our brown color. We just darkened it up a bit. And maybe he ends right there somewhere. I think that's a good spot for him to end. Right around there. We're going to come in and highlight. Hard to see with my light. Maybe that tree is way behind there. Just hiding in the back. So I just put my cliff over top of him. And now we just pushed him back. Just like that. I kind of decided to do that on the fly. Let's take a highlight color. We need to highlight those rocks. All I'm doing is taking some burnt sienna and some white. Maybe a little sap green in there. Darken it up. We could kind of a gray brown color. I don't want it ultra bright there. And we're just gonna put an indication. And we do it kind of the same way we do our mountains. get our roll of paint, and maybe he comes out here, and we can swoop him down a little bit. Maybe he comes over here. We want to keep that dark, but we also want to make sure that our paint is breaking. And we can just, that's a big old cliff there. Big old cliff. Just gently. So our cliff comes out here a little bit more, maybe in front of that tree. There's some stuff hanging off of there. You can just fool around with this, whichever way you want to do it. But remember, these rocks are kind of closer to us. Mix some more color. These rocks are close to us, so. And gently down. Just let that break. I don't particularly like this. So let's get rid of it. That easy. If you don't like something, we can change it. Just like that. Just like that. Now, we still got our formation, but our trees are kind of sitting on top there. And just like that, we changed our minds, and that's okay. And this guy can hang off the end. Kind of staring at everybody else down there. But just simple like that. We just changed our mind on the fly. If you didn't like something you saw, you can always change it. Some more rocks here, just at the end. Maybe it comes across here. Alright, time to put some highlights on our trees. We're just going to take some sap green, some yellows. Just trying to make a yellowish green color. I still want it fairly dark. This is kind of deep in the forest. You can see how my green's just a bit dark. We'll put some white in there. There we go. Just to brighten it up just a little bit. Load up that brush, and we're going to go on our tree. Just add the indication of some highlights. Don't go crazy with your highlights. You kind of want to figure out where you are in the painting. I kind of know this might be a little deep in the forest there, kind of on the ridge. Or there's a path going somewhere, maybe deep in the forest. So you don't want these overly bright. A lot of sun's not going to hit them. So this one here. Here. Maybe the top ones we can highlight a little bit. Not too much. Just the indication. We just want them to show up a little bit. I'm not putting a lot of paint down. If you have trouble with your paint sticking, you can always add a little bit of paint thinner. I think we're just going to put some, maybe there's some things in the back here. And you can just take your knife, and what happens is your knife picks up some of the paint from that tree, and it makes it look like there's a bunch of sticks Put some tops on there, maybe some trees in the back that are dead. There's, you know, you paint live trees, but you know what? In reality, there's dead trees in the forest too. You know, there's all sorts of things in that forest, and that's just life. That's what happens, right? Maybe a tree here. We'll give these guys a little top. Not much going on up here. I don't want the top of this ridge that we made to be the main focus of anything. So I want people to look this way into the painting. And we'll cut some stuff in there. All right, we're gonna take some of our brown, a little hint of that mountain color in there. And we're just gonna put some land here. Just a bit of land. Anywhere you want it. I think maybe there's going to be a path. Just a bit of land. A little path maybe coming through here. I haven't decided yet. We're just kind of freestyling this painting today, that's for sure. Just some bumps, some ridges, maybe an overhang here. So you can just pull your paint down. Make a little overhang. It's this right here. I think that would be a nice place to take a walk, eh? Grab some highlight color. Just some brown. Brown, white. Kind of use what you got on here. All sorts of colors in there. And a mix of colors. And these rocks here. These rocks they're kind of hanging out maybe down this way here. Just take some color and maybe we got a nice little path over here. Just take some white. I'm just kind of going all over my palette, just picking up some color here and there. And we're just scrubbing in a nice little path. All right, I stood back and had a look at my painting, and I see this big gap here that I'm not too particular about. So we're just gonna throw in just a couple more trees just to close that gap up, I think. Just our kind of tree color that we made before. Just down, all the way down. Maybe another one a little bit bigger here. And that just closes up our gap that we had. We'll take our highlight color. Highlight these guys here just a little bit. They're way in the back. They are way in the back. Take our highlight color again. We'll give them a little bit more. Just way in the back. They're still there. We know they're there. But they're in the back. A long ways back there. Take our knife, we can make all sorts of little cuts. Maybe there's some bushes here. So, I apologize for the noise there. We're going to take a little bit of white, green, yellow. We're just going to make a nice green color here. Get a lot on white here. Get a lot on your brush. Tap it in there. I think right beside our path there's just going to be some grass growing down this way. just kind of hanging over. Just kind of hanging over there. And all I'm doing is tapping. Just tapping. Just that green. Here's our path right there. We don't know where he goes. Maybe it's a nice little spot that they can have a look. And just tapping down. We might put a little white, little lighter color. Just brighten it up just a little bit. Tap that in there. And we can put, those are just kind of, you know, vines or something hanging over the cliff there. When you're walking down your path, I think maybe we'll put a waterfall in here. Why not? We'll see. Just stuff kind of just hanging down. Just a hint of highlight on here. All right, let's see what we can do. We're just putting a little bit of liquid white on our brush, and maybe right there comes a little waterfall. And you know what, maybe he comes here, he changes direction. Just gonna pull straight down. We added that blue. To our canvas before. We're gonna have some rocks. We'll hold everything in here. Maybe on the bottom. Maybe he kind of comes this way a little bit of an offshoot. Just drag, pull straight down. Drag. He comes this way. Add some more white. There's all sorts of rocks and stuff on a waterfall. Not a very big waterfall, but big enough. Big old rock on the side right here. That'll contain everything. There he is. Over here. Big old rock, kind of hiding everything. And maybe he goes straight down. There we go. Kind of covered up our waterfall that we made, but that's okay. We know it kind of went back there. No problem. I think we'll take our green. You know what? Maybe there's a few bushes just kind of hanging out just on the side here. They get a little more water than everybody else does. Just a bush. We'll take some highlight color, make a little land for a bush. And with our knife, we just take our highlight color, make it look like there's a big cliff of some sort there. Just nicely down. And at the bottom, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We'll put a big old cliff there. Maybe some of our green, nice and dark with our black and brown, just on our brush or on our knife. There's our cliff kind of holding everything in there. Maybe it comes out a little bit. We can always put some greenery on there. So that path, you know, maybe that was this is a lookout of some sort. Maybe some sort of lookout. And all we're doing is putting that dark color in. Maybe, you know what, the bottom, I just kind of thought about it. Maybe we'll have where that water is, like a basin, you know, where the water kind of falls in there. So all we're going to do is take our liquid white, and I think maybe right here, you know, just kind of splashes a bit, right down there. Just that water just splashes on and kind of carries on this way. Just kind of holds everything in. Maybe at the base of that rock there. Just press with your fan brush. Just press with your fan brush. All I'm doing. And maybe he comes over here a little bit. We got that dark color. Got that dark color on our canvas already, and that'll mix with your liquid white. That'll make it that blue color. All the way across here. Boy, we got a lot going on in this painting today, folks. That's okay, you know, maybe she splashes up against here. And you can always put a little, you know, sometimes just a bit of rocks there, little dewars, splashing up against the side, flowing into a river maybe. Maybe there's another waterfall. We just can't see it, right? Splashing up here, maybe hitting the rocks here, going pretty fast. All I'm doing is pressing up with my fan brush. Pressing up with the fan brush. Just nicely. I think we'll take our 1-inch brush again. We'll take our grass here, and maybe some of the grass hangs over the edge, maybe over that cliff. Down. All it is sap green, a little bit of color. Boy, I wouldn't want to go over that edge. I'm glad that path's way over that way. Just downwards. And then you can have a look, see if there's any other places that you think may need some highlights. I see right in there, I might put some dark in there. I see this tree right here, maybe you could use a little bit of highlights. And you could throw bushes, you could throw whatever you want, and it'll just add a little bit to your painting. Maybe some green grass kind of goes over this way here. See another formation here. That water's coming through somewhere. Land. I may darken this up here a little bit. We can take our dark color, maybe a bit of brown, pull it out. Just add, it just looked to me a little bit too clear and not so much like rocks. And all I did was add a little black there, maybe here on the edge. Just nicely and gently pulling downwards, just to create more of that dark color. Down here we can add some, because it's all rocky, right? So you never know what's going to be there. All sorts of colors happening. All right, the last thing we're going to do is we are going to take our liner brush, thin our paint down. We need to sign our painting. I sign mine in the bottom corner. You can sign it wherever you feel that you want to sign it. Take a little more paint. Make sure you thin that paint out a lot. You want it almost to be like ink. And then you can roll your brush in there. There we go. I see I got a little paint on there for my signature. But we can just blend it out, no problem. Thanks everybody for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed this painting. Maybe it'll give you a few ideas. My name's Andy. I am the Painting Fireman. If you like this kind of video, make sure you subscribe, press the like button, and continue on watching these videos. I hope it either inspires you or you just enjoy watching oil paint. It's really fun to do. I encourage everybody to try it. It's great for your mental health. So if you want to try it, just go online. You can pick up an oil paint set anywhere online and give it a try. That's how I started painting. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you keep your shiny side up. Have a good day.